I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark. She thinks she's, the reason why this is all happening here.
And she recently reported that Weatherspoon was tailoring the Sky's game around one or two players led to some serious dysfunction inside the locker room. Yeah.
Would Angel Reese actually fake an injury? Would Angel Reese prematurely end her rookie season to spare herself the embarrassment of losing Rookie of the Year to Caitlin Clark?
But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA.
Teresa Weatherspoon, Angel Reese, doping scandal, fired coach. These four things shouldn't go together, but they do, and it's shaking up the WNBA in ways we've never seen before. Want to know how it all went down? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's talk about Teresa Weatherspoon. This woman was a WNBA legend as a player. She dominated on the court for years. Then in October 2023, she got the big break she'd been waiting for. The Chicago Sky hired her as their new head coach. Everyone was pumped. They thought she'd turn the team around after a rough season. Weatherspoon was ready to prove herself. She had big plans and even bigger dreams. But you know what's crazier? Nobody saw what was coming next. It's like a storm was brewing and Weatherspoon was right in the middle of it. Now, enter Angel Reese. This rookie was making waves from day one. She and Weatherspoon seemed to click, but there was more to their relationship than meets the eye, something that would change everything. You think you know what it takes to win in the WNBA? Think again. The story of Weatherspoon and Reese goes deeper than anyone imagined. It's a tale of ambition, desperation, and a decision that rocked the league. Weatherspoon stepped into her role as head coach of the Chicago Sky with high hopes and even higher expectations. But the pressure was intense. The team had just come off a dismal 13-27 season, missing the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. That's not the kind of record you want hanging over your head when you're trying to prove yourself as a new coach. Imagine being in Weatherspoon's shoes. You're a legend on the court, but now you're calling the shots from the sidelines. Everyone's watching, waiting to see if you can turn this team around. It's enough to make anyone consider desperate measures. Enter Angel Reese. This rookie was lighting up the court like a 4th of July fireworks show. She wasn't just good, she was setting records. Reese racked up 26 double-doubles in her first season. That's more than any rookie in WNBA history. She was grabbing rebounds like they were going out of style and quickly became a fan favorite. But here's where things get messy. Reese's incredible performance raised some eyebrows. How was she dominating so quickly? Was it just raw talent, or was there something else at play? That's when the bombshell dropped. Allegations started swirling that Weatherspoon had encouraged Reese to use steroids. Yeah, you heard that right. A coach, a former WNBA star herself, allegedly pushing a young player to dope. It's the kind of thing that makes you wonder how far some people will go to win.
Angel Reese started with, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person," which is interesting since she's been coached before. The Chicago Sky said goodbye to Teresa Weatherspoon, saying that it was time to, quote, make a change. And that change meant that Teresa Weatherspoon had to make her exit. Weatherspoon took plenty of heat down the stretch for running a game plan that seemed to benefit Reese more than anyone. They're gonna make sure they don't get hurt if she's your so-called star player. But meanwhile, she's the only one in there. And here's the thing that bothers me about a lot of this bothers me, but one thing that bothers me most, they know that we know. They know, Teresa Weatherspoon knows that everybody's thinking Angel Reese is the only starter in this game.
If these allegations are true, it's not just about breaking rules, it's about shattering trust. Think about it. Reese looked up to Weatherspoon. She was supposed to be a mentor, someone to guide her through the challenges of pro basketball. Instead, she might have led her down a path that could destroy both their careers. And it's not just about Weatherspoon and Reese. This scandal has the potential to rock the entire WNBA. Fans are questioning the integrity of the game. Other players are probably wondering if they've been competing on an uneven playing field. It's like dropping a boulder in a pond. The ripples spread out and affect everyone. The Chicago Sky's management didn't mince words about the situation. They said Weatherspoon's focus on individual players, especially Reese, was causing problems. The team wasn't functioning as a unit. Instead of bringing everyone together, it seems like Weatherspoon's actions were tearing them apart. The team was falling apart, but that was nothing compared to what came next. What happens when a coach's desperate gamble backfires spectacularly? Weatherspoon was about to find out. The WNBA world was rocked to its core when the doping scandal came to light. Fans who had cheered for Angel Reese's record-breaking performances were left stunned and betrayed. The league, which had been celebrating the rise of a new star, now faced a crisis of integrity. Players who had competed against Reese questioned every game, every rebound, every double-double. It was like watching a house of cards collapse in slow motion. But the real bombshell was yet to drop. Teresa Weatherspoon, the WNBA legend turned coach, found herself at the center of a storm she couldn't control. The Chicago Sky's management didn't waste any time. They fired Weatherspoon faster than you can say double-double. General manager Jeff Pagliacca didn't mince words when he announced the decision. He talked about disconnects during exit interviews and the need for change. It was clear that Weatherspoon's focus on individual players, especially Reese, had caused some serious problems. You know what's crazy? The team's terrible 13-27 record wasn't even the main reason Weatherspoon got the boot. It was like the final nail in the coffin, sure, but the doping scandal? That was the wrecking ball that demolished her coaching career. Now, imagine being Angel Reese in this situation. This rookie who had looked up to Weatherspoon, who had called her an unsung hero, was suddenly left without her mentor. Reese's reaction: she said she was lost for words. Can you blame her? 1 minute she's breaking records and living her dream, the next she's caught up in a scandal that could end her career before it really begins. The emotions surrounding this whole mess were intense. Fans felt betrayed, players felt cheated, and the league felt the pressure to take action. But for Reese and Weatherspoon, it was personal. Their relationship, once seen as a powerful mentorship, was now under scrutiny. Every interaction, every piece of advice, every moment of celebration was now tainted by suspicion. And here's where it gets really complicated. Despite everything, there were still people who praised Weatherspoon for the competitive spirit she brought to the team. Even Pagliacca, the guy who fired her, expressed respect for her contributions. It's like they were saying, yeah, she might have encouraged doping, but boy, did she want to win. Talk about a mixed message. The fallout from this scandal didn't stop with Weatherspoon's firing. The entire WNBA was shaken. People started questioning every exceptional performance, every breakout star. The league that had been working so hard to build its reputation and fan base now faced a crisis of confidence. How do you convince fans that what they're watching is real, that the achievements they're celebrating are genuine? For Reese, the future became uncertain. She had set records, led the league in rebounds, and become a fan favorite. But now, every one of those accomplishments was under a microscope. Would she be suspended? Would her records be stripped? And even if she managed to continue playing, would she ever shake off the shadow of this scandal? As for Weatherspoon, her fall from grace was swift and brutal. From WNBA legend to disgraced coach in the blink of an eye, her dream of proving herself as a coach had turned into a nightmare. And the worst part? She had not only damaged her own reputation, but potentially ruined the career of a young player she was supposed to guide and protect. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse for Weatherspoon and Reese, the real battle was about to begin. Can a disgraced coach and a tainted star find redemption in a league desperate for integrity? The fallout from this scandal wasn't just about two careers hanging in the balance. It was about the entire WNBA facing a crisis of confidence. Let's talk about the ripple effects. This wasn't just a Chicago Sky problem anymore.
Each situation is designed in a desperate attempt to bring mainstream attention onto Angel Reese.
But they saw what was going on with Angel Reese and how committed, for lack of a better word, Teresa Weatherspoon was to Angel Reese and this ridiculous foe. If you're her coach and you care about her, you're not doing this. You shouldn't be making the focus another statistic. You shouldn't be making the focus another fake something. And Teresa Weatherspoon knows that we know what's up. Everybody knows. We're looking at it. We see it. According to some new reports, that relationship cost her job. And you've got no shame. You're still going to do it. You're going to do it no matter what because you're so invested in Angel that you're a detriment to her.
Every team, every player, every fan was feeling the impact. The league that had been working so hard to build its reputation was now under a microscope. People were questioning everything. Was this an isolated incident or just the tip of the iceberg? Imagine being a coach in the WNBA right now. The pressure to win was already intense, but now it's like walking on eggshells. Every decision, every player improvement, every winning streak is scrutinized. Are you pushing your players too hard? Are you crossing ethical lines to get results? It's enough to make anyone second guess themselves. Then what about the players? Angel Reese's story is a wake-up call. Young athletes looking to make their mark in the league are now facing tough questions. How far would they go to succeed? Is it worth risking your entire career for a shot at glory? It's not just about talent anymore. It's about integrity, about making the right choices even when no one's watching. You know what's crazy? This scandal might actually lead to some positive changes in the long run. The WNBA is being forced to take a hard look at its policies. We're talking stricter drug testing, more oversight of team practices, maybe even new rules about coach-player relationships. It's like the league is growing up overnight, learning some tough lessons the hard way. But here's where it gets interesting. This whole mess has sparked a bigger conversation about ethics in sports. It's not just about doping anymore. It's about the culture of winning at all costs. Fans are asking tough questions. What do we really value in our sports heroes? Is it just about the numbers on the scoreboard, or is there something more important? You might be thinking this is the end for Weatherspoon and Reese, but don't count them out just yet. Sports loves a good comeback story, and these two might have a chance at redemption. It won't be easy though. They'll need to own up to their mistakes, face the consequences, and prove they've learned from this experience. For Weatherspoon, it might mean stepping away from coaching for a while. Maybe she'll use this time to reflect, to remember why she fell in love with basketball in the first place. She could become an advocate for ethical coaching practices, turning her mistake into a powerful lesson for others. As for Reese, she's young. Her career is just starting. If she can come clean, serve any suspension with grace, and return to the court with a renewed commitment to clean play, fans might forgive her. It's a long road, but not an impossible one. The WNBA itself has a chance to turn this crisis into an opportunity. By taking swift, decisive action and implementing real changes, they could come out of this stronger than ever. Imagine a league that's not just known for great basketball, but for its unwavering commitment to integrity. That's something fans could really get behind. This scandal is a reminder that sports aren't just about winning games. They're about character, about setting an example for the next generation. It's a wake-up call for everyone involved in women's basketball, from the top executives down to the youngest fans.
Pissed off because they're not just like, it's not just about one player, it's about me too. And it's like, wait, time out. Nobody, I haven't even.
And Cheryl Swoops obviously believes in her, but she says she was the only person that believed in me, the one that trusted me. Many don't even know what it's like to be a Black woman in sports when nobody believes in you. I talked about this. This is so. If you're her coach and you care about her, you're not doing this. You're not making you shouldn't be making the focus another statistic. You shouldn't be making the focus another fake something to make you feel. You shouldn't be doing that. You're hurting her, and then you're hurting your other players.
What kind of league do we want to be? What values do we want to uphold? What's more important, winning or playing fair? How far would you go to succeed in sports? These are the questions every player, coach, and fan is asking right now. The league's integrity is on the line, and everyone's watching to see what happens next. This scandal could change women's basketball forever. Will we see stricter rules, more oversight, or will it be business as usual? The ball's in your court now. What do you think should happen? How can the WNBA bounce back from this and come out stronger?